Move the thing over. Move the because it's not centered. So like move it to the
It's
right.
showing not centered on there.
Yeah, it's not.
I wasn't trying to show my whole desktop.
Well, mission accomplished.
So we just do this. Full screen.
Yeah, that's better. Move the thing over. Move the because it's not centered. So I move it to.
It's showing not centered on there.
Yeah, it's not.
I wasn't trying to show my whole desktop.
Well, mission accomplished.
So we just do this. You know I'm under FBI surveillance. Full screen. And things.
You would say that as I'm trying to drink. It made me almost spit out on my keyboard. It's bad.
Um,
Boy.
I'm already buffering. Okay, so you can hear me fine, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like the audio is coming across good. Say something.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
You don't want to do Spanish right now. I will annihilate you. Don't do it. Don't step in that arena. Shout out to Ajane and Coyote Prophet in Chi-Town. I see you guys. Um, this is random. It's not really random, you know. So I don't know if I want to wait on people or not. It's up to you, Nasir. Do you want to wait, or what do we want to do? I can begin to just sort of give sort of an intro, as because they don't have to hear that. I can just begin to give an intro before we get into the main thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that would be cool. Do that. So give people more time.
um, first, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna freshen up my black cherry punch. That I'm going to do. I know what I'm missing.
What?
My pillows.
Oh, oh yeah.
So if I gotta sit up, oh, damn it. If I gotta sit up here online, trust me, you need some cushion in this chair. Leave that, homie. Now I have to adjust the camera because now I'm probably up too high. Okay, that's good because it brings me down to you. That's a good balance. I like it. I like it. Um, hey Bashir, good to see you too. Allahu Akbar. He's not back in school yet. It's still summer.
I actually don't go to school.
No, he starts back in September. I'm just gonna start giving an intro on this, you guys. I'm not gonna sit here and wait on people. That's part of this new path that I'm taking with what I'm doing on YouTube. I'm just not going to be trying to pull my people along. I'm going to preach and tell, and I'm done, you know? And even with stuff like this, you know, I would love to try and wait for everybody. But I'm not going to do it. I'm on here now. So we're going to do our thing. You know? First thing I want to say is this. The last video that I released was a serious message to our women. I've spoken at length in my work over the years about my deep love and concern for our women and my desire for our women to be in the place that they are ordained to be by God. If you've not seen that video, you need to go and watch it. You know, because the building blocks of the freedom of a people is only as strong as all of its links. And our women are the vessel of life. They're everything of why we exist. You know, if our women don't get it right, we are doomed. We talk about everything else, you know, about what the enemy needs to do. That's all true. We talk about the food. We talk about the vaccines. We talk about the diseases they put out. We talk about everything that's killing us. We don't ever talk about how our women are killing us because we're giving them the wrong signals as girls of what it is to be a woman. They're not turning into women. They're just turning into grown-ass girls that don't know anything. They're not expressing their divinity and their rightful place in the universe. And so that is taking down our people. You understand? Pathology, everybody. Pathology. I always tell you this. So you have to go and watch that video. Why this is important is because even though it's my nephew, we've not spoken. And I did that on purpose because whatever is going to come out of this is just what is going to come out of it. What I attempted to do, in fact, I called him really late. I don't know how, was it maybe, we'll say Thursday? Was it like Sunday, something, Nasir?
When you called me late.
Remember, I go, I'm interviewing you tomorrow. Quick, you know.
Oh. Yeah, I think that was Sunday.
It was just an inspiration, you know. I just thought I want to just interview him, not as his uncle, not as my nephew, but just as he's a young person, and I want to know where just some of his thoughts, because I think it's a window into our youth, you know. Yes, he's Muslim and all of that, and he has this brilliant, outstanding individual as his uncle, but he still operates in everyday society. He has regular friends and all those things. So it'll be interesting just to see what discussion we can get out of this. And I'm watching you guys' comments also. I know that he's monitoring comments as well. So any questions that you have, you can ask those. And, you know, we'll get to a point and then we'll do some, we'll answer some questions and so forth. So I'd like to introduce everyone who doesn't know me. And I can't not say this, my nephew, Prince Nasir. Like, I'm trying to stay separated. Like, I don't know you. Like, get out my face. You know but I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. Wait, let me prop this so I can see. Wait, pull back. Anyway, Nasir, first I want to say thank you for doing this. You know, um, I'm deeply honored and I appreciate it. And I want you to know that I hear something outside my door. I'm not stopping. Um, I want you to know that your opinion matters. You know, um, and that maybe through this, not just young people, but also adults can learn something. You know, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam always said, "Seek knowledge, even if it comes from a child." You know, so I believe that from my own life. What I'd like to do is I'd like to begin by asking you, just as I started, or the other day, Tuesday/Wednesday, I did a video about the celebration of our holy holiday, Eid al-Fitr, marking the end
I,
of the Hajj,
Adha.
Eid al-Adha. Talk to me a little bit before we get into this. Talk to me a little bit about what Eid al-Adha was like for you this year, what it means for you, that's two, and what you would tell people about why it's a good thing.
This year it was kind of uneventful, for lack of a better word, because we didn't really do anything. Like, we just went to the prayer. Usually, there's more stuff that comes into that, like breakfast and all that. But and in my opinion, Fitr is better, just because it comes after the holy month, and people are really coming in their best, and uh, it's more celebratory than
You,
than
you saying the Eid al-Fitr after Ramadan.
yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, it's more celebratory in my opinion. I hope I'm not wrong, but
You know what? I think I would agree with you on that. I never thought about it. I think you're right, because if I could just interject for a minute, just to say that, because after Ramadan, we're glad to be eating.
right.
So we jumping up and down, like, but for Eid al-Adha here, if we're not in the holy city of Mecca, we may have fasted some of the days here, but we didn't go on Hajj. So it's like
Right,
we're
that's
doing it
that's
for them,
basically, yeah.
and for the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. But it's like, appreciate y'all. You know. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like,
Yeah,
if you're not in Mecca, it's kind of like, right. But my experience overall, I mean, it's I can't really fathom it yet because of my young age and how my mind works right now. I'm pretty sure once I get older, it'll come into fruition more. But right now, it's just a holiday. We celebrate it. I know the meaning of it and why it is, but I can't really fully take it in.
I understand. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And kind of to that same point, talk to me, Prince. You're 16 and a half now, you know, which I always want to. I'm not going to embarrass you on camera. I'm not going to start crying. But I almost could cry because just yesterday you were 9. You know, it's just so fast. But you're 16 and a half. Talk to me now about being, first we'll just say, just being a Muslim at 16 and a half, right now? What's that like?
It's difficult to say the least because my school, I don't go to a Muslim school, even though there are a lot of Muslims that go to my school. There's not really, it's not really like, oh, we're learning Quran and we're praying and we're doing this and that. But it's hard because there are a lot of influences that are hard to ignore. Uh, and I don't know if it would be better because like for me to go to a Muslim school because like I have a lot of non-Muslim friends, so uh, it wouldn't change much. I mean, it would just probably change the schooling part, but it wouldn't change the social uh, aspect of the situation.
Talk to me. You mentioned there's some things that, what was your language? That are hard to avoid. Like, did you
Like
say?
a lot of my friends uh, smoke weed. Um, you know, everybody's talking about sex and that kind of thing. Uh, Gangs, stuff like that. Somebody said that your sound is low.
My sound is low.
Yeah.
It's just 'cause your sound is so amazing. I'm over it. Turn your system up then, whoever's saying that, because I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't. I'm serious. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. Like, what I could even do. If I turn up my system volume, it's just, you'll be louder for me here in my house.
Yeah.
So I got to keep that low. And I noticed that whenever we have Skype sessions, with some of my folks, and I watch the playback, sometimes I record portions of it just to watch, and I noticed that I'm a little lower, than everybody. So just work with me. I'm not doing nothing special. Work it out. I don't know what to tell you. Um, so those things, that you were just enumerating, what do you feel there? Do you feel like I should be doing that? Or like, what do you
I mean, when I
feel?
was when I was little, my second grade class like had a Halloween dress up thing, and I was a little upset because I didn't get to dress up. But now I see it better. Like it's okay for me not to do that stuff because it's gonna help me out in the long run, both Islamically and normally like physically and stuff. Cause like smoking weed is not really the best thing for you. Um, and there's a lot of problems that come with intercourse, like STDs and other, stuff
And
like
being a
that.
child,
Yeah.
I'm getting worked up.
Yeah, so yeah, that too.
Go ahead.
But yeah. Um so yeah, I'm kind of okay with, not doing that stuff at this time. I mean, it's not really affecting me as much as it did when I was little.
That's interesting because I've had the sex talk with you, but we didn't talk about that, in depth, what you just were saying. And I appreciate that, man. Um, yeah, thank you. Talk to me now about being just an African, a young African teenager, which is a word I hate. I hate all teenagers. I've already done my cleansing breaths. I'm okay in this space. I can say the word teenager. I can say it. Anyway, talk to me. Talk to me about being a young teenager, an African teenager right now. What's it like for you? Like, and also has it been sort of a graduation? Like, like it was one thing when I was 10 and now it's something else when I'm 16. Do you feel? I'll bring that one later. But talk to me about that. What's it like to be? What's your life like being a young African teenager?
It's not really any significance. Like I don't really uh, feel any special about being an African teenager. It's not really nothing different from a normal teenager or like a white teenager. Um, it's not. It's like I don't see any difference yet.
So, because one of the things I always say and preach is that, and I've even said this even, I did a video about how white people are dying off and, their numbers are dwindling. And one of the things I mentioned in that video was sometimes this interracial dating thing can be atmospheric. If somebody they only grew up in a white neighborhood, they only went to white schools, they only white, then the chances are they are going to pick from somebody of that group, and we could understand this. So in your situation right now, with regard to that question, it could be atmospheric, you know. Um, you, but now expand. Given that, recognizing your own sort of atmosphere, your world in which you operate, now you see national news. How do you feel about that, and how do you take any ownership of that? Do you feel related to that? Like, when you see Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, and all of that, um, like, in fact, I feel like, how old was Trayvon? I feel like he was your age. But anyways, what's your feeling on that?
Um, Trayvon Martin, that kind of hit home because, you know, even though I don't really walk home in the dark,
Right.
I do wear hoodies a lot. In fact, I have one on now.
Right.
And that situation, it was bad because like it was raining, so I could see why he had a hoodie on. And not just the hoodie, but the fact that he was, classified as suspicious, and I mean, he wasn't doing anything. Like he was walking home from the store, which I think I've only done uh, at night, once at night, or a couple times, like by myself. No, a couple times with friends, but like only like once or twice by myself. And I just thought, I just think that could, that when it happened, I thought that could have that could very well be me. Um, but other than that, like all the other ones, I mean, they've hit home just because they're black, I'm black. But other than that, like really don't have any personal connection based on the situation of how they were dealing with the police. But Trayvon Martin was probably the best one.
Do you ever feel a sense of anxiety when you see police?
Sometimes, depends on the situation, when and where I see them.
Give me an example.
Uh,
Contrast the two.
like say if I'm at an event, like like here, they have a annual kids run at the local park, and say if they're there,
Hmm.
I mean, I probably won't be, as nervous as if I see them, pull up to some location. Because I remember one time me and
Right.
my
So if
friends
it's
were
just like a
forced,
gathering, like, oh, we're having a festival in the park and the police are here, like that's cool.
right.
Okay.
But then like I remember this one time before school, me and my friends were at a store, and like I think it was like two or three cop cars just pulled up, and I got a little nervous. 'Cause I was like, why are they here?
Right.
So I mean, it didn't really, they didn't interact with me, but when they pulled up, I got a little
But you
nervous because I
still
was
got
like,
that
why are they here?
anxiety.
Yeah,
So you do have the black anxiety that goes on, at least to some degree. And again, you're just still you're 16, but still you are. There's that thing already. You've experienced it. Like they're here. Why are they here?
right,
And now does that mean me type thing? You feel me?
yeah.
All right. I want to hear from you also about, and not so deep, but I'm just interested in what you, just whatever's going to come out. Um, what, I want to save that one. No, I'll do that one now and then do that one. Okay. All right. Tell me about what it is to be, or why, or what you think about, rephrase. You obviously were alive when Barack Obama was president. Tell me, if at all, have you experienced anything just in your life in general, just your observation of the world, just anything? Have you experienced anything different since now Trump has been president? Is there just anything that you think different, feel different, see different, hear, whatever? Anything you want to tell me?
Before I answer that, I was gonna say I told myself I was gonna take off my glasses once we got real into the
I'm sure our
you know
audience would appreciate that, to see your beautiful face.
once we got into the interview, like really for real. But
Jazakallah khair.
well, yeah, cool. But I do see a change. Like I feel that they have like now a sense of like especially like I've heard people say, "Oh, we got our country back," this and that. They feel like some type of they feel what's the word? What's the word? Ownership or
Possession.
yeah.
Is that, I don't want to put word, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they feel like they possession of America, like they got their country back, and you know make America great again, and all this stuff. And I'm like, and it's not really like America was never great to begin with, so I don't know like why they're feeling this type of this feeling.
Do you
And
ever hear anything at school? Like, I know your school's well, it's predominantly black.
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, do you get, is there any infiltration there? Is there anything coming in, as far as just, maybe you heard something at school, but maybe you didn't.
No, not really. Because like you said, my school is predominantly black, and if they're not black, they're some type of uh,
Immigrant.
yeah.
Okay, very
So
well. Very well. Now I forgot the other question I was going to ask you. So let's go to questions for a little bit. Let's see if we have any questions. Um,
in the comments,
yeah,
uh,
I'll read them and
and
then you can answer them if there's any.
okay. Hmm.
July called said she wanna know what time we coming.
Just now?
Is that
Yeah.
Jahan?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Is she still on the
Libera.
phone? Huh?
I was shouting out somebody.
Oh.
Shout out to Libera. Shout
Is
out
she still on the
to
phone right now?
J Dog.
Call her back and tell her like
J
four
Dog, I'm
15.
I'm doing my best to follow with you, brother. You got a million channels. Every time I get a notification, I subscribe to you. But just let you know, it's the struggle. Power of the 12. Shout out to you. Um, does anybody have any questions at this time that they'd like to ask? Before we go on. If so, please ask your questions now. Bashir says, I was on my way to work, Prince. It was such an honor to hear your perspective. You are an intelligent and well-spoken young man. Salute to you. Peace, Jedi. Anjane wants to know, are you ever teased at school for your religion, or have you seen any other Muslim children hassled?
No, because my school is predominantly Muslim, so there wouldn't like no. And actually, they're interested because we do fast during the school year. So once that comes up, they may like play with me a little bit, like, oh, you want to eat this, you want to eat that. But I know they're playing because it be my friends and stuff. Or sometimes like when we have pizza and stuff, they know I can't eat pork.
Right.
So then they'll be like, oh, just eat this pepperoni, bro. But no, not
so
really. I know they're playing because they're my friends and stuff. But sometimes they'll ask me questions like, "Oh, why can't you do this?" or "Why do you do this?" I give them answers. But no, I don't get teased or see anybody get teased. So yeah.
Yeah, J Dog, but I've been getting them. I'm saying I'm not. I'm saying I'm getting them. I'm just saying it's so you have a lot of channels. Tell me now if you have ever experienced racism, and I think a two-parter to that would be: have you experienced racism? And if you have, tell me about that. And if you've not, then talk to me about racism, your relationship to it.
Me personally, no. But I remember this one time me and
Well,
my
let me stop you
friends.
there for just a second. Because I'm a model, and obviously you're my nephew, so why wouldn't you be a model? Models don't experience racism, so I don't even understand why I'm even asked this question. This is for the audience. No, go ahead.
But me personally, no, because I mean, I've never, experienced it. But I remember this one time, me and my friends went to the mall, and we like went on a little, shopping spree a little bit, and we were coming from the food court because we had, ate dinner because of the time it was, it would have been dinner, but we were coming from the food court about to go to another store, and we were on the second floor because the mall has 2 floors. So we were on the second floor, and then below us we saw like a bunch of people crowded around. So we were about to go in the store, and then one of my friends pointed it out. They was like, "Oh, it's a bunch of people down here." So we all went over there, and then we saw this black dude getting arrested. I don't know what the situation was, but he's getting arrested, and he was with his girlfriend, I guess. She did look like she was pregnant, and they were tasing him and having him on the ground and stuff.
What?
A bunch of white, I guess you could call them all cops.
Right.
And then they were tasing him and holding him on the ground and stuff. And the chick, she was like, "You don't got to be doing all that." And they just took him away and carried him away, and then everybody left.
When was that?
Oh, Um,
Like more than a year ago?
no, it was this year, or
Okay.
was it?
You're out of frame.
Yeah, it might have been like around my birthday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, what is your understanding in general about racism?
It's getting worse. Um, it. I don't really see it as much here,
Yeah.
but I know there are some places that are worse.
Right.
Uh, you know, racial profiling and a lot of that, but I don't really see it here.
I understand. Yeah, because where you're at, it's that's one of the things I love. When I come there, is I'm insulated by my people
Yeah,
completely. You know, of course, where I live now is mostly us too, but it's a different us. It's a different us. It's different. It's different. Um,
like the police aren't even as bad here. Like I've never experienced. I mean, besides that situation I just told you, um, the police aren't even as bad as other places.
it seems like that, and like wherever you at, um, I just I go back to it's atmospheric. It's atmospheric. I love that word because it so states what I think it is and what it is. It's atmospheric. It's where you're at sometimes,
Yeah,
you know. Um, and then you get the outliers where it's especially after it was seen that you could kill us and get away with it, then we just saw it in every pocket of the country,
yeah.
and all those things. It's one of those things. Um, talk to me briefly about what you understand and your observation of teen sex and teen pregnancy.
Um, I know a lot of teenagers, um, you know, that in my school too that were pregnant during the school year.
The blood of Jesus.
um, I don't, I mean, it's kind of I don't want to say common, but it's getting to that point.
It's not
Um,
abnormal, is in other words. It's
yeah,
not like,
yeah, yeah,
oh my God, you. It's kind of like, oh, her.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I'm not really surprised by it either because you know that, like I said, everybody talks about having sex and stuff. So there will be slip ups. There will be just
Do you ever get teased? Like, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Is it ever like, oh, you're a Muslim, you're not getting none, this and a whoopie whoop, you know what I'm saying?
no,
It
not
ain't
at
it
all.
ain't like the cock diesel dude standing around like I'm getting mines, I'm getting mines. I'm saying is that I know that brother exists somewhere. They always
No,
do.
I don't know him.
He's out there.
I mean, I don't. I know a couple of people that be like, oh, I'm getting mine, I'm getting mine. But no, I don't get teased for uh not being in that space.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I know a couple people that that's all they talk about.
All right, final question, not gonna make it too hot. We know the women are throwing themselves at you.
What'd you say?
We know these little fast ass girls. They hat They trying to throw themselves
So
at
you
my friends.
asking me? So you
I'm
asking
saying I'm
me
gonna have to
if?
make a little trip. With a gun and a knife. And a slingshot. I'm gonna get up off my nephew. Wings up. Wings up.
So you asking me if I've ever been approached
I
to
will
be in
come there
that
looking like a
situation?
damn assassin. In a minute. They won't even see me coming. No, but has there been pressures from females? Like, I mean, not even pressures. The first time you tell my story, and then it'll be easy for you. When I was in New York, when I was your age, and I was going to Bennett High School.
That school closed down, by the way.
I know. You're my but I love that school. I did. I loved it. But when I got there, because my name is Arabic, they thought I was Jamaican. Don't ask. But they start calling me Red Wine, and all the popular kids embraced me, and they wanted me at their table at lunch, and whoop-de-whoop. But I promise you, my locker was full of notes every damn day on me. My God. I finally chose this sister named Barbara. I'm going to leave that alone. But my point is that I was inundated, and with that, and I want to say this too, like that's also affected my understanding and choice of African girls and women, because your own wants you. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like I had all these sisters, but it's a different time now, and you guys have technology, and you got a cell phone, and you get Twitter, you get you sleep on a spaceship. So talk to me about attention upon you from the opposite sex.
Okay. Number one, I will never in my life be attracted to somebody that's not African.
La ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar.
Like that's not like it's not like
it's just not in you.
Yeah.
It's just not in you.
But attention wise, I do get approached, not for
you're not going to be braggadocious. That's fine. Don't worry about that. Like just whatever. You tell your truth.
I do get approached, not for sex, but like for relationships and stuff.
No, I'm not saying like people come to me saying like sleep with me. I didn't know that. I'm talking about just
No, but listen,
girls
I gotta
phone
let me
number,
finish.
or flirting, or winking, or ooh Nasir, ooh, am I kill the bitch down? I'm over it. No, go ahead.
No, but let me finish.
Yeah.
I've never been approached for sex except for one time.
Astaghfirullah.
And it was when I told you this. I was with you, and I got a text, or no, it was a phone call, and yeah. So
I seem to remember reading that when you were here. I'm sorry.
You said what?
What were you saying? What
you say?
Something happened in our connection. I don't know. I think my camera cut off. I don't know. I wish I knew. All right, go
ahead. But yeah, that's the only time I've been.
Like somebody just straight up like, I want you.
Yeah. Right. But other than that, no.
Okay.
But relationship stuff, yeah.
Flirting.
Yeah. Stuff like that, yeah.
I'm not gonna ask you certain things on camera.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Some things we gotta keep for the family.
I'm a little nervous because it might be a phone call placed after this interview.
No, we good. Or you're talking about some other entity?
No, I'm talking about you calling me, asking me more questions about this situation.
No. We talk about everything. I'm trying to nurture your I have a responsibility to you in this, in life in general.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm your uncle, but I'm saying like I don't want to I don't want to go I don't want to put you someplace where you don't want to be right now
I mean,
or don't need to
I'm
be.
comfortable. Like, you can go ahead and ask any question. If I'm not going to answer it, I'm going to tell you I'm not
Right,
going to
I
answer
understand
it.
that. I understand that, and I respect that. You know, I'm just doing my jurisprudence.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Anjane says, "What advice would you give to teenagers your age if they're wanting to become Muslim?" I love that question. Thank you, Ajane.
Um,
For kids your age. And then I'm going to add to her question, have you had any kids your age that are not Muslim ask you about the religion? But first, answer her question. What would you say to kids your age who would be interested in becoming Muslim?
do it. Like, take Shada immediately. um, but, um, no, seriously though, like, for real, like, do it immediately. Like, it is good that you want to do that, and, you should, take interest in that and proceed with that, inquiry. But, based on questions, like I said, sometimes, I'll get questions like, oh, from kids in my school, like, why do you do this, or why don't you do that? Just basic stuff. But I during last Eid al Fitr, we had, I think it was like 4 or 5 kids. They were a little bit older than me, like 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
They took Shahada on Eid, and after the prayer, and they were just talking about how they've seen how good our life is better than what they have now. Like, I know one of them I knew actually, and he was in and out of jail, not jail, but like holding centers for teens, because he's a minor,
Mm-hmm.
and you know and he was one of the ones that did it, and I congratulated him, and because I knew him, he actually lived where I lived at previously, and we played football together and stuff. But yeah, they took shahada. It was like 5 or 6, maybe more. Took shahada on Eid.
Allah Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Um, I think that was because that was Anjay's question. I have in my part. So what did I say?
Do I get
It's
questions?
time for Dhuhr.
Yeah, I got that notification about a long time ago.
Okay, so um, let's see if there's any more questions. We'll answer that and we're out. First one, shout out Nicole Ali. Shout out to you, Nicole. Shout out to Moki Maggard. Yeah, I think I got everybody else shouted out for the most part. I want to say this, you guys, because it is prayer time for us, so we have to go. I want to say, um, this was important to me because, as I say, I would have done it with anybody, but it's my nephew. And I'm going to do more more of these with him, just because I think, as I said earlier in the piece, the Prophet Muhammad always said, "Seek knowledge, even if it comes from a child." And I am fortunate enough and blessed that my nephew is a very wise young boy, you know, and my dream is he will be even sharper than I think I am as he gets older in life, you know. Um, but I think that what they have to say educates us all and it matters, you know. Um, we can take something from this. You know, maybe this inspires you to go talk to your children, you know. Um, maybe through our existence, you think more seriously about Islam and becoming Muslim, whatever. But I want to say I thank you guys all for showing up. I first and most importantly, I thank you, my nephew, for being a part of this and agreeing to do it. Um, I'm proud of you, even though I have to threaten to kill you most of the time. But it's out of love, though. Who cares if I have a hot knife in your nose? It's out of love. But it's out of love, though. But that's out of love, though. Okay, the
LOVE
AK-40.
love.
All right, the AR-15 might have been too much. I accept that. Fine. No, but I love you. And thank you. And inshallah, this will be of value to others. That was our pursuit. So I'm going to shut it down now, you guys, because it is prayer time, and I'm not going to let y'all sit here waiting while I go pray and all that stuff. I do that a lot, and I'll do it in a heartbeat, but not going to do it today. Going to go ahead and end the stream, and I love you guys all, and I'll see you soon.